today's video, we are going to talk about form the habits of thinking fourth dimensionally. This is extremely important when it comes down to consciously manifesting your specific desire, because if you form the habit to think fourth dimensionally, it will prevent you from spiraling and have constant doubt, which will revert you back to your old self and will eventually delay your manifestation. With that being said, I am not saying in this video that you should stop affirming or doing your method of choice. Of course, you should continue, but in between, in the journey of continuing with affirmation, visualization, or whatever, I want you to form the habit of thinking fourth dimensionally. I could have even entitled this video How to Quantum Jump, because this is exactly how you do it. By forming the habit of thinking fourth dimensionally, you quantum jump in your desired reality. Apart from the fact that I have other videos on quantum jumping, you find them on my channel, so remember to subscribe and hit the ring bell button so you always get notified of my new videos and you don't lose my older ones as well, where I already talked through quantum physics and all that stuff. So, hello everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Naya, and on the channel I talk everything about manifestation, esotericism, so much more. On Patreon, I do have a community where I post weekly podcasts and videos about these topics, and again more. So join the community, the link is down below. And for my formula coachings and readings, all the links are again down in the description box. But before I get started, I need to, and then I promise you guys that we will talk about how to form the habits of thinking fourth dimensionally, I have to give it a quick shout out to today's sponsor. And today's sponsor is Aura. If you guys have ever find trouble to find the perfect quick meditation, 3 to 7 minutes, or perhaps you suffer from insomnia and you need to sleep better, or you need very interesting prayers or affirmations for your manifestation, and you're already listened to all the other ones that YouTube has to offer, well, this app is totally for you. Think about Spotify, but for manifestation and spirituality, cognitive behavioral therapy, and so much more. That is where Aura is about. I use it daily for affirmations, for music for me and my daughter, as well as for quick meditations, because it offers you the possibility to meditate either for 3 minutes or even 7 minutes sometimes. And the way you use it, you go to the app and you just search what you want to experience. So for example, if I want to have a meditation for manifesting money, I will type down manifesting money meditation and you will find it. Exactly like with Spotify when you want to find a particular song. That's how I use Aura. And not only that, but if you need a life coach or certified therapist, you have them on the go on your phone through the app, 24 hours available for you depending on your time zone, and you can book with them a consultation right there on the app. There is so much more to Aura that I constantly wanted to discuss, because every single day I find something new, like podcasts about, like I said, cognitive behavioral therapy, new affirmations, new prayers, hypnosis is available in there. It's just amazing for not only manifestation, but also for general well-being and to feel better with your mind and detox even a little bit from outside circumstances, social media, stress, and anxiety. If you want to try Aura today, I highly suggest it, because like I said, I use it daily, and you can try it with the link that I provided down below, which not only gives you a free trial, but it also gives you, in case you want to go premium, a 40% discount. You find it in the link down below in my description box. You find the link, down below in my description box, as well as in the comment section. Thank you so much, Aura, for sponsoring this video once again. And now let's go back to our video. Okay, with all of that out of the way, finally we can talk about today's video. So it's very important to form the habits of thinking fourth dimensionally, because the fourth dimension is basically this dimension where all the possibilities that exist in the quantum field, let's put it this way, or all the possibility that exist at the same time. So the fourth dimension represents the concept of time, but without past, present, and future. It's an eternal now. And I think you can access the fourth dimension, and also Florence Scovel Shinn used to think that, as well as Neville Goddard or Joseph Murphy, so on and so forth. They used to think, and again I agree, that you can access the fourth dimension in your imagination. So your imagination affirmation is true divinity because it's able to see things that are not yet actualized in the 3D dimension, in the third dimension. So why is it important to form the habits of thinking fourth dimensionally in order to manifest, but especially in order not to spiral and doubt? Because here is what happens the majority of the time. I've done these mistakes myself, and that's why I'm talking about it. You start affirming, you understand the law, you understand that your desire, it's done. Theoretically, you understand all of this, and you embark on the journey of conscious manifestation. At some point, because we talked about it in previous videos, your mind is going to revert back to the old self. It could be because, like I said in my last video, you didn't really overcome certain limiting beliefs, which we're going to address also in this video. You didn't clean the junk properly, but even because this is a little bit more advanced, even if you're just affirming, at some point, your mind is gonna go back to the old self because that's where it's familiar. And the mind loves safety, stability, and going back where it's familiar. Even if what is familiar, it's miserable and depressive, it will have a tendency to go back there because you have repeated that state of consciousness of misery and depression, and this is just an extreme example, for so long that again, your mind is habitually thinking that, it's familiar to that, and it will revert back. So how to stay consistent then? You have to form a new habit, which yes, is repeating the new affirmations and the new concept of self and becoming a new person, because manifestation boils down to identification and identifying with certain states of consciousness. However, I urge you to also form the habit of thinking fourth dimensionally, which is essentially this: seeing advantages in everything. Neville Goddard, as well as Florence Scovel-Shinn, has talked about this thoroughly in all his books. So essentially, your mind wants to revert back. So you are starting to doubt or being double-minded. What it's going to happen, why you're being double-minded, why you're being doubtful, because your mind is habitually not only thinking the old thoughts, but also because it's staring at the 3D. When you form the habits of thinking four-dimensionally, instead of looking more to the 3D, you go to your amazing imagination. And you understand that you have this tool that can raise you up from the 3D, and you have to say to yourself, no, I am going to see through fear. I am going to see through fear and I'm going to find faith. I'm going to see through obstacles and I'm going to find advantage. I'm going to see through scarcity and I'm going to find abundance, because you're able to affirm it. You're able to think it. You're able to imagine. That is your capacity to think fourth dimensionally. So you have to remind yourself and create the habit, because this is a habit of thinking fourth dimensionally, which, for example, I had many times obstacles along the way, or what they appear to be obstacles against my desired manifestation. Because I know this, and I trained myself for years now to think fourth dimensionally. Every single time that I see an obstacle or anything that doesn't quite match my desired reality, I'm like, oh, I see through this. I can see, like, if I can see in my imagination that it's done, this is just an advantage. I see everything as an advantage. It was so funny because I always have to give my personal stories, which I promised I didn't want to do, but let's just do it really quickly, just to give you an example. So lately I have to pay a lot of money for something that I have to do, and I was a bit bummed out about it. And then I said, oh, limiting belief, like as money goes, money come in, which is the affirmation of the magic person. We're going to talk about it in the next video. But anyway, so I always say this kind of affirmation, and after a minute of spiraling, I was like, see through. Think fourth dimensionally. You have to see through this. And so I said, no, no, I don't have to believe this. I don't have to accept it. As money goes, money comes in. Everything is going to be fine. And I start doing my habitual fourth dimensional habit with my habitual affirmations. What happens? My father calls me the other day because I'm in the process of changing residencies. So some of the post mail comes here in Italy, instead of London. So he calls me and is like, I have a letter from one of your old bank accounts, like bank. And I said, what do they want now? And this account, I didn't have this account like for almost 10 years, by the way. And by the way, I never had a lot of money in that bank account because it was way before my YouTube channel. So I'm like, what they want? And he said, they just send you a check because they said that they did some mistakes or something like this in the old bank account. And now they're sending you a check with money to refund you. And I'm like, of course, because I overcome the whatever obstacles was in my way in the 3D, I thought fourth dimensionally, and of course money had to come some other way. Now, the majority of the people in the world that will say this is a coincidence, this is absolutely not connected, you're just lucky, but we know I am lucky because I constantly affirm that I am lucky and I have this belief system. Everything boils down to what you're believing. We know that. Let the naysayers say whatever they have to say. We do not care about that. Why we don't care also, this is also how you form the habit of thinking fourth dimensionally. Why we don't care about the naysayers outside, they are too logical or they don't believe in the law. Why we don't care? I'm going to quote Florence Scovel-Shinn to answer this question. We don't care because we cannot receive more than what is in our consciousness. Everything is consciousness driven. People cannot receive more than what it's in their consciousness. So people that are going to be skeptical about me receiving checks in the mail, which by the way, even a friend of mine, she had experienced this. She's called Catherine. She also has a YouTube channel. And other people that I talked to, I think this entire example was even in the movie The Secret. But why people don't believe this? Because people can only allow in their reality what is in their consciousness. So we don't care about the naysayers because they never experienced this. They are not allowing it in their mind because they don't believe it. They never experienced it. So what do you think they're going to say? What do you expect? Remember this, and I'm going to quote again Florence Scovel-Shinn. If you're always noticing failure and hard times, that is what you will get. I'll give you another practical example of how people do not think fourth dimensionally. I made a short just the other day, very silly short, about Miley Cyrus winning the Grammy. And I thought that that was amazing and I was so happy for her. I think she has an amazing voice and the song Flowers is beautiful. But besides that, I'm not really that much into Hollywood and I don't know anything about the Grammys. I'm not even from the States. So I just posted it and I think she manifested that, as we do manifest everything in our life, and she's no exception. She's a human being. But what were the reaction of the majority of the people in the comment section? They were all saying Hollywood is fake. Oh, that's why she won. She's got a rich daddy. She's got a famous daddy. She's this, she's this, she's this, she's that. They are these kind of people, and I'm sorry if this is you, but I hope that this video wakes you up a little bit. These kind of people, they can only recognize excuses of the reason why other people are successful and not themselves. And these are the same people that they will never experience success until they think in this way. When you see someone successful, if you're fixated in success and abundance, it does not matter who this person is, whether it's a famous superstar or it is your neighbor. If your mind is fixated on love, joy, abundance, success, you're gonna think, I am so happy. If God did this for her, then it will do it for me 10 times more. By the way, Florence Scovel-Shinn. The mind, you need to understand that whatever the mind pays attention to, which is not just, oh, I'm paying attention to a video, gets fixated on, expands. And whatever you believe and plus you get fixated on has to happen in your reality. If you are fixated on fear, even on a subconscious level, that has to manifest into your reality because you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. And that's where people get caught. They do the affirmation, they do all the things, but they revert back, or they are double-minded because they didn't kill completely their old self, but also because they don't have this tool, which is the habit of thinking fourth dimensionally, to overcome the limiting belief. You overcome the limiting belief by repeating a new thought, by affirming, but also having this active faith, which is understanding that every time that you're repeating an affirmation, every time that you are imagining, you are thinking fourth dimensionally. You are thinking above the obstacles, above the 3D. You have what is called active faith. Okay, does it make sense? And this is also how you quantum jump, because tell me how else are you going to quantum jump if you're not cultivating the habit of thinking fourth dimensionally? Now, it is a practice, I might say. You get better the more you do it. Same with affirmation. The more you repeat them, the more you get better. What can help you is obviously sleeping well, doing sats, doing meditation, listening to content that uplifts you. That's why you got Aura, link down below, and other things as well. There are strengthening focus, which we already talked about. There are many ways in which you can practice this, but at the same time, you gotta do it. You cannot just watch this video and then not do a damn thing about it. Yes, repeat the affirmation, but also, I'm gonna say it again because the repetition is key. Create the habit of thinking fourth dimensionally, okay? Which is going to cultivate active faith, and it's going to not make you revert back to the old self, but actually make you overcome apparent obstacles in the 3D. I hope this video makes sense. Comment down below and let me know your stories. Remember to subscribe and hit the ring bell button to always get notified about my new videos and when I'm going live. And I also wait you on Patreon for my weekly videos. Love you guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.